Very good. And would you say that this process of negotiation, where you're dealing with people from very different points of view, famously north, south, but big states, small states, but just different cultural milieus, states where there's religious freedom, and states where there's an established church and different economic points of view and so forth. So how does this process of negotiation facilitate this idea of e pluribus unum? Out of many different opinions, many different backgrounds, we get this more unified view and understanding of the kind of government that they want, and one that's a national union out of these many different viewpoints.
I think it's striking how much behind all of the sorry sorry about that. I have to edit that out. I think it's striking that behind so many of the debates there is a sense that the states that are going to form part of the union are so different that some things are simply impossible. At one point, James Wilson suggests that the president should be elected directly by the people of the United States. And that suggestion doesn't really go anywhere. Not, I think, because the convention were anti-democratic, but because of an issue that also occurs when they're thinking about how the electorate for the House of Representatives should be constructed, which is this: it would be very, very awkward for the federal government to involve itself in running elections, where not only some states had slaves and some didn't, but states had different property qualifications. And for the federal government to impose itself on the states and tell them who their electorate was going to be for the House of Representatives would have been a very awkward thing indeed. And so the convention finds a number of creative ways around that. For the president, of course, they invent the Electoral College, which is one way around this problem. And for the House of Representatives, they say, well, the electorate for the House of Representatives of the United States must be the same as the electorate for the most numerous part of the state legislature. So they sort of tie the federal electorate to the state electorate, and say, well, you can't have a more restricted electorate for the federal offices, without getting themselves involved in the question of defining who has the right to vote. And that is, frankly, a way of respecting the fact that the states are still converging, even in the bits that we think of as the North and the most Democratic and Republican parts of the Union. They were still converging on the idea of universal male suffrage in this period. And the federal constitution has to respect the fact that even northern states had different views on who could vote. And by and large, the tempers at the convention tended to remain calm. There are some exceptional moments, but they tended to respect the fact that some language was going to work for some states and not work for others.